So I've been MIA for a while. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. But I moved back in with my parents recently, and due to a varied concoction of factors, have found myself unenthused to make videos or stream for the most part. Sometimes I think I'm depressed, sometimes I think I'm just rebelling against less than ideal circumstances, and sometimes I'd rather just eat flamin' hot Cheetos and play games without an audience. For the detriment it may cause my career-disguised hobby, it's at least enhanced my attainment of those shiny, coveted platinum trophies, so I want to talk about a few I've gotten in the past month or two, and how they went, and what I'm working on now. The first platinum I got as part of a group challenge among my friends where we all decide on a single game to do was Hitman 3. Now, I'm a big Hitman enthusiast already, but I stopped short of getting the platinum back when I was playing that a ton on the channel, because it just wasn't really a goal of mine. But this challenge was a great excuse to get back into a game that is so much fucking fun. I absolutely adore Hitman. If you don't know, it's an assassination game where you're let loose in a murder sandbox playground across a number of maps, and you'll have a bunch of different contextual ways to kill your targets, alongside also being able to just walk up and shoot them in the head. Every NPC has set behavioral patterns that shift depending on things that happen, so when you get good and knowledgeable about how people react to things, you're essentially able to set up kills that only an omniscient puppet master would be capable of pulling off. It's a blast and a half, and since the World of Assassination Edition has Hitman 1, 2, and 3 in it, and frequently goes on sale for single-digit dollars, it's in the running for the highest cost-to-benefit ratio in all of gaming. There's hundreds of hours to sink in these games if you want to do all the challenges, and it's so fun to revisit maps and do stuff a different way and figure out where everything is so you can plan better. These devs went on to make the 007 game this year, and while that game has a great campaign and arguably better moment-to-moment gameplay, it doesn't have near the replay value that Hitman does. The next platinum I got after that was for Marvel Midnight Suns, which is a critically underrated turn-based tactical RPG with Persona-like relationship building, minus the actual romance, because the devs wanted to cuck everyone out of dating Magic and Scarlet Witch. I've talked about this game multiple times in the past. It has cornier than usual Marvel dialogue where not a single quip is funny, and yet they are constant, and the script positively reeks of millennial Chungus HRs in the room vibes. That said, the gameplay is top-notch. It's a long XCOM-like campaign, having been made by the same devs, so I had fallen off it in the past when other games came out, but I finally finished it this time and platinumed it, which required half of a second playthrough to maximize my light balance instead of dark, and even that was fun. This is just a good-ass game. You play cards to do attacks and spend heroism to do environmental takedowns and stronger attacks, and you get 3 card plays per turn generally, and then it's your opponent's turn. It's just a very satisfying and stimulating combat experience. Then you go back to your base of operations and manage a whole bunch of upgrades and activities that boost your cards or your characters, or go on hangouts to raise friendship XP to unlock new team combos, or buff stats, and it's the whole package. If I made a list of the best turn-based tactical RPGs, this would be in the top 5. From there, I went a bit simpler back to a game what's franchise I am intent on platinuming all of as they come to PlayStation, and that's Supraland 6 Inches Under. I already have the Supraland plat, so 6 Inches Under was next, and when Supra World goes 1.0 and comes to PlayStation, I'll be all over that too. These are a bunch of first-person Metroidvania collectathon puzzle solvers. You're constantly getting new abilities to use to solve puzzles in really ingenious and outside-the-box ways. Getting the platinum means opening all of the 150-plus chests hidden throughout the world and using all your gadgets a dozen different ways each to figure shit out. There's really nothing else quite like this that I've found. It's wrapped in a childish sense of humor that can be very eye-rolly in nature, like satire for 12-year-olds who think they've got it all figured out. But given that you exist as a toy in a kid's sandbox, it kind of fits. Anyway, the games are great. Check them out if you like Metroidvanias or puzzlers, and especially if you like both. A month and 70-plus hours later, me and Fish started and finally platinumed Grounded in co-op, and that's the type of game that is so fun to play and a nightmare to complete. I'm a huge Grounded advocate. I think that game is also very underrated and one of the best survival crafting games out there. You play as one of 4 teenagers who get shrunk down in a backyard and have to fight bugs and figure out why that's happening. You get bug parts from killing bugs and use them to craft all sorts of weapons and armor and machines and base building. And it's all very creative, like making a dagger out of spider fangs or putting mushroom chunks in a grinder to make slurry, and then in an oven to make bricks to build your base with. I can end sentences with prepositions if I damn well please, Oxford. Grounded had so many game-changing updates, both in early access and for years after its release, that if the last time you played it was 5+ years ago, you gotta go back, even if it filtered you. They literally tripled the amount of inventory space you have since its early access days. They've added New Game Plus and all sorts of new weapons and balance changes. It's a bop. But if you are going for the platinum, understand that it's hell on earth. You've got to find like 130 teeth collectibles, 50 scab collectibles, 70+ data files, all the hidden recipes, and the game doesn't tell you what you actually need for completion. You have to get 100% on a report card at the end, and it's totally arbitrary what counts and what doesn't. So be sure to look that up and use the grounded interactive map to see what's where, or it's never happening. We had like 5 false finishes where we thought we had 100%, the game was like, psych, 99, and we had to reload the save and find more shit that wasn't even on our radar, or that the game didn't even tell us we were missing. You also have to do New Game Plus, but you can breeze through it in a couple hours if you're just doing main missions. I do recommend easy difficulty because this game is fucking hard otherwise. Some of the bosses were laying us out on normal, even having appropriately leveled gear to the point where we had to switch or we would have quit. I can't even imagine doing the 3 fucking phase infected broodmother on any other difficulty. That shit was absolutely insane. I'm glad we got it done just in time for Grounded 2 to come to PlayStation in August. I've been holding off on playing that game on PC so I can platinum it all brand new like. I legitimately cannot wait for that. I played it for like an hour on Game Pass when I launched in early access, and I can already tell it's better. It's gonna be terrific. Lastly, the platinum that I am currently working on is a game that I previously thought was good, but not that good. But upon now going back and playing its complete edition with the most recently released expansion, I underrated the hell out of this game, and that's Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb is a straight-up banger. I liked it before, and now I love it. And the Woolhaven DLC is so cool that it's worth being one of the only DLCs I'd recommend buying at its launch price, which is like $17 or something. The vibes of the winter area are immaculate, and the game as a whole is still just impossible to put down. Since there's a constantly ticking clock no matter what you're doing, managing your cult or going out on crusades or fishing or doing side quests, there's really not a moment to waste, and it creates this loop where even if you were thinking about being done, you're always just being pulled towards the next thing. You're like, I want to get off, but I should do my sermon first, and then I should bless people, and I set some resources to be consecrated. Oh no, someone died of old age, now I should bury them, and now I gotta do a ritual to raise people's faith, because that just lowered it, and real quick I should cook some food, and now it's the next day, I should do all this again, and I'm actually never going to sleep. Cult of the Lamb sucks you in and makes you its disciple to where you'll be singing its praises to anyone who will listen. And that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos until you die of old age, and I'll see you guys next time.